What's going on, guys? This is Rob Carbone, and you're listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis than by tuning into this podcast right here, right now. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Rob Carbone coming at you with another episode of BD4, No Better Way. Tonight we're going to do episode 61. The Knicks end their horrific skid. They lost 5 games in a row to the Phoenix Suns, to the Los Angeles Clippers and Lakers, to the Utah Jazz, and the New Orleans Pelicans most recently heading into tonight. And it was more of the same. The issues were more of the same. Some inconsistencies in the offense, becoming a little bit stagnant at times, but for the most part, it was that 3-point defense, right? Struggling to adjust, having some issues with the drop coverage, having issues fighting over the screens or going under the screens more so, and having issues, leaving too much space. That's the big thing. Too much space on the 3-point arc and not enough emphasis out there on shooters. So that was a big reason to why they lost that many games in a row. Of course, the Knicks were without Julius Randle and Marcus Morris for some of those games towards the end of that stretch. And a lot of the reasons Knicks fans were most pissed off about this stretch was the minutes distribution was not really pretty. Mike Miller wasn't really distributing his minutes the proper way. It was more towards the vets as opposed to, wanting to win games as opposed to going full-on youth or even going a little bit youth. He wasn't really balancing it out well. He was just trying to win as opposed to try and win but also balance out by developing your youth a little and playing the kids. He didn't really do that. He kind of too much emphasis on the old guys who won't be here soon. But that was, one of the reasons fans are frustrated, and rightly so. But tonight against the Miami Heat, the Knicks bounced back. It was unexpected. Obviously, the Miami Heat are an excellent team. But, first off, let me say this. During that 5-game losing streak, was I surprised the slightest bit? Not really. The one game that I thought the Knicks definitely should have taken was the Suns game. And another game I thought they could have taken was the New Orleans Pelicans game. But really, when you look at those 5 games, 4 of those clubs, arguably maybe 5, but 4 of them definitely have more talent than the Knicks. So they were out-talented more than they were out anything else. The Knicks aren't as talented as, obviously, as the Clippers and Lakers. They aren't as talented as the Jazz, and you could argue that the Pelicans have more talent than the Knicks right now, at least more advanced in their process, in their rebuild process. So I expected that. And I also expected the Knicks to lose today against Miami, but they did not. They came out with a surprising victory. And before we start, I do want to say I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm going to try to make this episode as short as I can. I know I say that, and I'm probably going to end up rambling on for 15 minutes or so, but I just excuse me. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm not going to be able to talk. I don't have all my breath, but yeah, today's one was good. Again, the Knicks, they're not a good shooting team, so with the personnel they have, they're going to use it to their strengths and roll to the rim and abuse, the paint. And that's what they did tonight. 72 points down low in the paint. It might have been a season high for the Knicks compared to Miami's 46. The Knicks were just dominating down low, rolling off pick and roll, just posting up, drawing up plays for Randall. A couple of Barrett plays drawn up, designed for him. And it was the second half shooting. It was the late game defense. It was things like that that helped propel them to victory tonight. Julius Randle, after missing the past couple of games, personal reasons, the death of his grandmother, he bounced back tonight and had a nice game back where he scored 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists on the side. So that was good. But again, he was 10 of 21 from the floor, but 9 of his 10 field goals were down low in that restricted area. That was good to see. He was using his strength, playing downhill, using his physicality and playing the way he should be playing, which is down low in that paint. That's all we need from him. He doesn't really need to abuse that 3-point line, and that's what we're seeing him do less under Miller. He's playing smarter. He still has his issues of being reckless at times and not really playing exactly the way he should be, but he's been much better under Mike Miller. Optimizing his talents, I guess you could say. And so tonight, playing off the ball a little, as you just saw there, rolling to the rim and just using his strength, like I said. He did that in the second half. The one 3-pointer he did hit was big down the stretch, put the Knicks, it might have put them up, but I think Johnson, who was it? Somebody hit a freaking 3 to put the Heat right back up, answering Randall's 3. And but Randall then ended up with a layup, finished at the rim, hit a couple of free throws late, and he kept scoring for the Knicks down the stretch. He was big. It was nice to see him play well for this team. Again, just coming out, after missing, 3 games, coming back and putting up a good performance at the Garden. It must have been an emotional day for him doing it for his grandmother. That was nice to see. So that was fun. RJ Barrett also had a nice bounce back game. This is a kid who has struggled mightily with inconsistency this season, with his efficiency. But tonight he was efficient from all around the floor. 7 out of 10 from the floor, and 8 out of 10 from the free throw stripe. That was a plus. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, but 8 out of 10 free throw shooting. That was big. And his, I guess you could say, clutch free throw shooting down the stretch helped give the Knicks the victory. Now, he did miss a couple down the stretch as well, but he had 2 trips where he went 1 out of 2, and those 1 out of 2s were big because the free throws that he did hit gave the Knicks that extra point to stay, to keep out of distance, keep the Heat out of distance. And Barrett also had a nice defensive game as well. This is a kid who continues to play defense, but down the stretch, keyed in on Butler, forced Butler to miss a floater. Butler even missed a free throw to tie the game, and Barrett's defense on Butler down the stretch forced a turnover, landed in Barrett's hands, off a drop-off pass, and the Knicks ended up, again, hitting a couple of free throws. So Barrett's night was good. Randall was good. Reggie Bullock, 16 points, all in the second half. 4 3-pointers in the second half. He had a stretch of 11 consecutive points he scored for the Knicks at the start of the third quarter. They were down 8 points a couple minutes into the third. Reggie hit 11 points in a row for the Knicks to cut that lead in half. About 6 minutes left. So he was big. His shooting and defense is going to be a huge boost for this team. Oh, I wouldn't say huge because one man can only do so much, but it's going to be a nice boost for this team. This is a team who, again, lacks that shooting personnel, so you can get as much as you can. It'd be nice. So Reggie Bullock, 16 second half points after going 0 for something in the first half in 13 minutes. So that was nice to see him bounce back in the second half. Kevin Knox had a good performance, 17 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 5 rebounds, active out there, aggressive. That's the big thing. Kevin Knox this season seems to have lost a little bit of his confidence, not as aggressive. Fans are starting to question his potential. I'm kind of one of them, I will admit. But tonight I thought Kevin Knox looked good. I thought he was aggressive out there. The confidence was there. His stroke was nice. When he's not forcing anything, and when he's taking smart shots, and when he's playing within the rhythm of the offense and moving around out there, not just staying flat-footed and just being a statue, that's when he's effective. He has to be lively out there, and that's what he was tonight, and we're seeing a little bit more from that from him recently. So that was good to see. Knox, Randall, Barrett, and Bullock, really the 4 key players tonight for the Knicks. Taj Gibson, of course, had another good night. Kadeem Allen, nice dish off there. He had 10 points, a block, a steal. But this is a kid who, again, I've always liked this Kadeem Allen guy. He doesn't have to make impact in the box score, but he's a guy where he makes his presence, elsewhere. He'll do the intangibles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That was a nice and one there. See, this is a kid who, just forcing it, not forcing anything. And he's playing within the rhythm of the offense. He knows how to just make this team better in certain areas. Not a lot better, but he'll make them improve a little bit here and a little bit there, and it'll eventually translate into something, bigger. So it's nice to see him out there. I always called him the Marcus Smart of the Knicks. He's an intangibles guy. Plays defense, does enough offensively where you're gonna keep giving this guy minutes. And with Frank Ntilikina hurt right now, Dennis Smith Jr. probably not going to play another minute for this team. You just hope that maybe Mike Miller gives Kadeem Allen some more minutes going forward. He's possibly their best point guard right now. So that'd be nice. It would be nice to get this Elfrid Payton out of that starting point guard role. He was cute for a little bit, but his defense I can't. But it's just good to see them playing. At least tonight, it was good to see them bounce back and play with some kind of spirit out there. So that was good. It was a good all-around game. Again, dominating the paint, hot second half shooting, late defense, keyed in on Jimmy Butler. Yeah, Butler did have 25, 10, and 6, 50%, over 50% from the floor. But when it came down to crunch time, they keyed in on him. They neutralized him. He choked in the clutch, and the Knicks did a nice job. Part of it was just on him not getting the job done, but part of it was that defense they were playing. Again, locking down and making him force that drop-off pass that he turned over and force that floater where he airballed it, things like that. It was good, tight defense. The Knicks played on him. The Heat played their 2-3 zone a little bit, but the Knicks worked their way around it to 124 points. Again, the Knicks didn't really do great from the arc. They don't shoot well from three, but Bullock provided a little bit of a boost in the second half, and the Knicks did their damage where they do their damage most of the time. Again, in that paint, 72 versus 46 points in the paint for the Knicks to the Heat. So the one thing that they really still didn't improve was the three-point shooting defense. The Knicks still gave up 40% threes. The Heat were 14 out of 35. Again, it's the same thing tonight. It was spacing. It was spacing. And that's one thing that we really have to start see improving because we haven't seen it improve yet, whether that be under Fizdale or Miller. From game 1 to game 40, we haven't seen this defensive perimeter defense improve much. There's too much space, not enough guys putting emphasis on the three-point line. And, especially when you're a team, like I said, who's not going to succeed yourself at the arc, you're going to at least have to defend the arc, right? Because that's something you can control. When you don't have three-point shooting talent, okay, what are you going to do? But when you can at least, when you have guys that can at least defend a three-point line, do it. You have to do it. I don't know, man. They don't do it. 14 more threes tonight. And listen, I don't know how they won, honestly. You play the Miami Heat, give up 14 threes. I don't know how you win, but they figured it out. The Garden crowd was electric tonight, and I guess that was a big part of it, home court advantage. But Jesus Christ, they've got to fix that three-point defense. I don't know what else to say. Going under the screen tonight, and that just caused more space for the Heat. Gave them more space to shoot. And God, Tyler Hero was going off a little bit in the fourth quarter. Just random dudes. Just the other Duncan Robinson kid. That's the most frustrating thing. Just defend the three-point arc. Put a little more emphasis. It's they're not necessarily doing what they did under Fizdale, which was collapsing in the paint and just leaving them 15 feet open. But they're guarding the arc, but they're not guarding it tight enough. Mike Miller said before the game he wants the Knicks to have their feet actually outside of the arc defending. So you literally give them no space. But that's not what they did. They're still kind of sagging off a little bit where it's too much. It's not enough aggressiveness, not enough not enough defense. They didn't clamp down tight enough. So you want to see that improve, obviously. Will it? I don't know, because I really don't see any. I have seen no signs. Again, game 1 to 40. That's got to improve. But all in all, that's their 7th win in 18 games under Miller tonight, which gives them a 388 win percentage under him. Under Fizdale, the Knicks played a 181 win percentage, so it's a drastic difference. Now, obviously, a 388 is nothing to be excited about, nothing to be thrilled about, nothing to jump around about. But considering how pathetic and abominable they were under Fizdale, it's something where if you can at least keep hovering around that 400 mark and finish the season staying aggressive, staying, playing with energy, playing smart and hard. If they can keep doing that, it'd be nice to see the Knicks continue to play 400 ball and hopefully finish the year, try to get 30 wins. That's been my goal from day one, right? It's going to be a little hard now, with their rough start under Fizdale, but you want to see, just want to see them continue to play better. Not exactly good, because again, 7-11 is nothing to scoff at, but it's nothing extraordinary. But it's definitely something. Whereas they're not just abominably pathetic; they're just a normal bad team under him so far. Does it continue? If they just tank the rest of the year and they just flat out suck, I wouldn't be surprised because it's the Knicks and they're just abysmal. But at the same time, this is a team that really shouldn't be that bad. They shouldn't be a 181 team. They shouldn't be a team who just loses 5 out of every 6. They should be a team who can at least pick up a few wins a week and stay competitive for a team that's not going to make the playoffs. So you want to see that at least. You want to see them hover around 400, keep winning 7 of every 18 games or something around that mark, and salvage Miller's tenure here and win maybe 25 out of the 60 games that he coaches for this team. We'll see how that goes, though. I don't want to get too specific into that. Just play hard, play smart, and just keep trying to balance winning but also developing your youth at the same time. Because that's the one thing I do want to see Miller do a little bit better of a job at, is not just going straight up for wins, but play to develop your young kids a little more. Try to balance that out. We talked about that last time out, so we won't stress on that too much tonight. But that's pretty much it. Anyways, I just it is what it is. You'll take anything you can get at this point with the Knicks. So that's gonna be that, guys. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say, but Marcus Morris is still out with injury. Frank Ntilikina is still out with injury. So it'll be nice to get at least one of them back for Tuesday's game against Milwaukee. But I don't think that's going to matter because I really just think Milwaukee is going to kick the living shit out of the Knicks on Tuesday. It's in Milwaukee again. So Giannis is probably going to drop, 82 points, 55 rebounds, and 25 assists. Something along those lines. It won't be competitive, I know that. So I don't expect anything to be positive after that game. I expect the narrative to change drastically, just like it does every time they win and lose this team. But as long as as long as they at least beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and just whatever happens against the elite teams happens, whatever. Finish the year floating around 400, and I'll accept that. Keep distributing minutes to the young kids, and I'll accept it. So just do those 2 things, and I'll be happy about it. Somewhat happy, because you're never going to be truly happy about a Knicks team. When you're happy about playing 400 ball, that just goes to show how disgusting this franchise is. But whatever. Just, I don't know, man. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and just keep, if you can sneak away with victories you're not supposed to have, like tonight, you'll take that too. But we'll see what happens going forward. Again, I don't expect anything good from this next game on Tuesday to come, but whatever happens, happens. But that's it. All right, guys, I'm going to go to bed. It's late. I'm losing my voice here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Rob Carbone, BD4, episode 61, signing out. Ciao.